in a row. Foreign status with my name on their toes. These status acknowledge me, honestly. Put the seat back in the odyssey. Prodigy, little mama wanna suck in the swallow me. Watch time. The BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards have been canceled. They have been canceled, ladies and gentlemen. BET has indefinitely suspended both the Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. The decision was announced by BET CEO Scott Mills. The network is reportedly re-imaging how these award shows will exist. Within the changing media landscape, the Hip Hop Awards, which launched in 2006, celebrated rap and hip hop culture, while Soul Train Awards, established in 1987. Now, listen, I remember. Forget about the Hip Hop Awards, right? The Hip Hop Awards is a new invention. It's only been around for 15, 16 years or whatever. It hasn't been around that long. The Soul Train Awards is an institution. I'm a little more disheartened about the Soul Train Awards being do away with, but we're going to talk about the Hip Hop Awards. Established in 1987, honored in achievements in soul, R&B, black music. Both shows have been significant platforms for black artists and music. They have been. The suspension of these award shows follows a period of uncertainty for BET, with reports of stale talks to sell the network from Paramount Global. The change also comes from a decline in viewership of the BET Awards, which BET notes was partially attributed to unusual date change. BET Scott Mills stated that the network is considering moving these shows to different platforms, including streaming services. Listen. Let's get to the BET Awards first, right? Now, if you don't know, I was on a tear clapping at Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe, BET Hip Hop Awards. He was the last host of the Hip Hop Awards, right? Let me see. And they do have a video of it. He has a video where he's saying it's gentrified now. He's blaming everyone but himself. So yeah, Fat Joe, he hosted the BET Hip Hop Awards, and he did an absolute terrible job. He did not present the culture. He did not represent the culture, the art form of hip hop, to its highest level. He was a terrible host. He was a terrible presenter. And his name, and let's be honest, when it comes to Fat Joe, his name has been tied to mediocrity. He did the BET Hip Hop Awards. He stunk up the joint. It was a terrible show. The viewerships went down to a record low. Even the parts of the show that people love to tune into. People love to tune in to the BET Hip Hop Awards freestyles, right? That was one of the one things that the BET Hip Hop Awards had going for itself. They would tune into the BET Hip Hop Awards. People would watch, people would get awards, but there would be these freestyles in the show, where it would be rappers freestyling in the show and things of that nature, right? Fat Joe, he does a remodeling of this, because before it was people rapping in a cypher. Fat Joe says, no, we're gonna do away with this. We're gonna have them rap in a Honda Accord. Let me see if I can find one of those clips. Hold on, BET Hip Hop Awards freestyle. Wait, car freestyle. Let me get that. Car freestyle. Let me see if we can find one of them Johns. Let me see if we can find one of them joints. Cause he had niggas rapping in a Kia. I was like, we got these niggas rapping in Kias now. Hold on, Hip Hop Awards, BET Hip Hop Awards freestyle. I'm looking for the newer ones. What was that? 2024? That was 2023. He did do 2023. Yeah, but nonetheless, I remember seeing it. He had people rapping in Kias and all of this. It was real weird. But listen, man, when it comes to Fat Joe, let me get some of these things off the. Give me 1 second, y'all. We got a lot of tabs open right now. But when it comes to Fat Joe, listen, his name has been tied to mediocrity. He came out during the World Series, right? Came out during the World Series, did a terrible job. The Yankees lost. After he performed at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees lost. They lost the World Series because of Fat Joe. He done waddled his 400-pound ass onto Yankee Stadium stage. Hold on, Yankee Stadium. And did a terrible job. Let me see if I got that performance. Yeah, I think I got that joint. I got that. Let me put that up on let's put that up on the Summer Jam screen of Fat Joe performing. Because, in the World Series, and we're going to get back to the BET Hip Hop Awards, but, in the World Series, I'm just showing you that Fat Joe has always been tied to mediocrity. So when the BET decided to let him host the awards, they picked the wrong guy. They picked the wrong guy. Fat Joe, Yankee Stadium. Here you go. Absolutely horrific.
Jordan.
Give me 1 second. John Cena played Fat Joe at the Yankee Stadium. Now remember, Dodger Stadium, because that's who the Yankees went up against. They went up against the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they had Ice Cube, and who would be a better representative of LA than Ice Cube? The only person I could think of better than Ice Cube would have probably been Dre and Snoop. If Dre and Snoop came out, it would have been as equivalent to Ice Cube, right? But they had Ice Cube. They had a hip hop legend. Ice Cube, he went out there, he tore down the stage. People in LA were satisfied. They had this cornball, Fat Joe, out there at Yankee Stadium performing these trash songs, and the Yankees lost. They lost that night. They lost because of Fat Joe.
Before game 2, time now for a native New Yorker to get you ready for game 3.
Yo, New York! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Bronx Bomber himself, Fat Joe!
How many of y'all remember this?
Soto, I see you, Judge, I see you!
Nobody want to see this clown. Nobody want to see this idiot. Lean Back came out 38 years ago. And he goes out and he performs this trash song, and the Yankees go on to lose the World Series. Do you know why the Yankees lost the World Series? Because Fat Joe is bad luck. Fat Joe is mediocrity. And when BET decided to have this clown be the spokesman of the BET Hip Hop Awards, they made a bad choice. They made an absolute bad choice. But let me hear what he had to say in terms of let me see what he had to say in terms of, because he's blaming it on gentrification. Let me hear what he had to say. Fat Joe Hip Hop Awards. Here we go. Let me see what he had to say.
Like the Ratchet Awards, and nobody was really going, and this and that. Then, I guess with the passing of Don Cornelius, whoever was in charge of the Soul Train, I guess, I don't know, slipped. And it didn't have the same fluidity as it had other years, prior to before he passed. So now they just canceling it. That's like a loss for the culture. What you say?
You want me to say? You just explain what it would. Do you
I'm
want
actually,
you to say?
I just gave
I
you
got
the
a different.
thing.
I got a different approach, man.
Okay.
My approach is factual. BET. This is a form of gentrification. What's going on right now? Right. So I don't know if y'all really want to ask me about this shit right here. Right. So BET.
Gentrification? Fat Joe, you're not even black. You're talking about gentrification for BET? Listen, Fat Joe, it was gentrification when they allowed you to even be a part of the show. The fact that they couldn't find somebody black for BET. Fat Joe, BET. Black Entertainment Television. Not Puerto Rico, not Boricua Entertainment Television. Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena. No, this was not Boricua Entertainment Television. You don't find that suspicious? The fact that they allowed you to be a part of the BET Hip Hop Awards, that was gentrification in itself. They could have went out and found somebody black that was prominent, that had a voice, a rapper, an actor, a comedian. They decided to give you the job because of gentrification. So don't sit up here on your high horse and say, oh, gentrification, that's why. The fact that they gave you the gig, the fact that they allowed you to be a part of the show, the fact that they allowed you to host, that was gentrification in itself. Them allowing you to be a part of the show was gentrification in itself, Fat Joe. That's a fact.
He came up as a community station for black people, right? The urban culture. And
so what, if that's the case, Fat Joe, what was you doing hosting the show? You said BET came up as a black thing, and you know it was a black foundation thing. Blah 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 blah. Did he actually say black? What did he actually say again? Let me hear that again. Hear that again.
For black people, we about this shit right here, right? So BET came up as a community station for black people.
A community station for black people. Fat Joe, so what are you doing a part of it? Why was you hosting? Why did you decide to say that hosting this show was good? Why? You're not black, right? You're not black. So why was you hosting? Because you're saying it was gentrification. So you being a part of it as a non-black man was gentrification.
Right? The urban culture. And our man, Bob Johnson, took the check. He sold it, first black billionaire, whatever the case may be. He sold it. He sold it to Viacom and Paramount, MTV and them, VH1 and them. Little by little over the years, quietly, they've been firing a lot of people behind the scenes in BET, and everybody who has something to say, they've been firing them and this.
That's true, Fat Joe. I think what you're saying, there's some truth in what you're saying. But you're not also talking about how you was the host of the show and you did a poor job. Don't blame the firing. Listen, there's people getting fired everywhere. There's massive layoffs happening all over. In big corporate companies. I work at my job. They let go of these 26 people. There's layoffs happening everywhere. Don't blame it on the layoffs. Blame it on you being a poor host. Blame it on you not having enough cultural currency to get people involved and get people watching. Blame it on you not being entertaining. But don't blame, BET in the firings. Everybody's getting laid off everywhere.
This and that. And I know because I've been working on the BET Hip Hop Awards for 3 years.
And you've been doing a terrible job at it. That's a fact. You've been working. I've been working on the awards. You mean you've been ruining the awards? You've been doing a terrible job on the awards. You ain't been working.
Shit was like the budget, not for me, but the budget
Just kept getting.
getting chopped and chopped and chopped. And last year, I debuted my single with Khaled in the VMAs, and Katy Perry's still flying through the air in the VMAs. They still blowing out of the cannons. They still flying in the air. They still got all the tricks. They still got the budgets. They got the shit, you know. And so I think in the entertainment world, I don't think I know this was like a form of gentrification. They kept underfunding them, and
Well, I'm gonna give Fat Joe a little bit of bell here on this one, and this is what I will say. Hip hop has not been supporting the BET Hip Hop Awards. I will give that, because I'm gonna go a little bit further before Fat Joe became the host, because he only hosted for 3 years, right? I don't feel that hip hop has ever really, supported the awards. You don't see big artists at these award shows. When I watch the Grammys, right? We're talking about the hip hop awards here, right? And now remember, we're far removed from the Source Awards. We're far removed from the Double XL Awards, or any type of hip hop celebration being televised. We're far removed from that. And remember, the Grammys, a lot of times when the Grammys come by, they don't even televise the hip hop categories. They give the awards on the red carpet when a lot of the artists are coming. So there's really no platform for the excellency of hip hop, right? But when it comes to the BET Hip Hop Awards, there is no other platform out there. We only have the BET Hip Hop Awards. And in my opinion, hip hop has not supported the BET Hip Hop Awards. You don't see no major stars at these BET Hip Hop Awards. At the last show, answer me this, riddle me this. Were any of your top hip hop artists at this BET Hip Hop Awards? Did you see the likes of Travis Scott? Did you see the likes of Drake? Did you see the likes of Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even like the hip hop pioneers, or not the pioneers, but like the hip hop icons, excuse me, like a Jay-Z or a Snoop Dogg? Did any of them come and support this show? The reality of the situation, they have not been supporting it.
Fire! 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 Fire!
They haven't been supporting the show. They haven't been coming out and supporting the show. They haven't been coming out and performing. I can't remember the last time I seen Drake or Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. Remember, these are the top 3 guys in the hip hop industry right now. These are the big 3. These are the guys who represent hip hop to its highest form. They're not popping up at the Hip Hop Award. Now remember, this is the only show that only focuses on the excellency of hip hop, and you don't have none of the top artists. They show up for the Grammys. They show up for the Billboard Awards. Even to spit in the face of BET, they show up for the MTV VMAs. But you don't show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards. That's why this show has failed, and that's why it hasn't been getting its proper due.
You ain't got no money to be creative. That's why you was watching the Ratchet Awards and all that. They ain't had no bread.
So salute to E. Cole. He says, nah, you're saying some real stuff right there. Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. The BET Hip Hop Awards has failed because they have aligned themselves with mediocrity, right? Like Fat Joe. Fat Joe is a mediocre hip hop artist. Let's just put it out. Let's be frank here. Fat Joe does not represent hip hop excellency. He doesn't have a classic album. He's not considered one of the best. You're not gonna say Fat Joe is one of the greatest rappers you've ever heard. BET has aligned themselves with mediocrity. They allowed this mediocre rapper, Fat Joe, to take the reins of a host, right? Now, when you're a host, you hold the cultural currency. Case in point. Now let's go back a little bit, right? When Kevin Hart, he hosted the BET Awards, right? Kevin Hart, BET Awards. And the BET Awards was a success. It was a success. You had Kendrick Lamar was there, Mariah Carey, you had like streamers like Kai Cenat there. You had an ensemble because Kevin Hart holds cultural currency. I'm sure that when Kevin Hart was announced as host, he made phone calls. I want this to be a success. My name is tied to this. My name is tied to this award show. I want this show to be a success. I want it to represent Black excellency. I want the streamers there, like Kai Cenat. I want the musical icons like Mariah Carey. I want the hip hop superstars like Kendrick Lamar. He called for all the bells and whistles because he held the cultural currency. He wanted this to be a success. He held the reins. Now, when you become a host, you hold the cultural currency. When they gave Fat Joe the ball, he has no cultural currency. Who can Fat Joe call? Who's he gonna call? What? Ja Rule? Remy Ma? The Terror Squad affiliates? Little Watanito from Soundview Projects? Trinity Ave? He has no cultural currency. He can't make a Playboy Cardi come to the hip hop awards. He can't call Travis Scott. Hey, Travis Scott, we need you to come. I'm doing the award show. I need you to support me, my brother. He can't call a Kendrick Lamar and say, hey, Kendrick Lamar, we're going to give you the award for this, that, and the third. I need your support, my brother. Fat Joe just showed up and took the check. He had no pull. He had no cultural currency. And that's why the BET Hip Hop Awards failed. He is partly to blame. He wants to blame gentrification. He wants to blame this, that, and the third. The network cutbacks. He even took a dig at BET, claiming, hey, listen, I don't know what it is, but, you know, they got money over there at MTV, but they ain't got no money over there at BET.
You don't find that suspicious?
What are you trying to say, Fat Joe? What are you trying to say? You trying to say they don't want to spend no money over there at BET? Let me know, man. Are you claiming that Viacom and Paramount is guilty of racism? Guilty of being racist towards Black American art form like hip hop? Let us know, Fat Joe. What are you trying to say? Maybe you got some inside information you want to tell us about. Right? Yeah, but you know, the BET Hip Hop Awards, it's failed because there's no prominent stars supporting it. You don't see Kendrick Lamar, you don't see Drake there. Think about it. Back in the day, right? Go back to the Source Awards. Let's go back to the Source Awards. Because, you know, these were the beacons and these were the platforms of back in the day. Source Award photos. Let's go back. Source Award photos. Let's go back. Look. You had Snoop Dogg. You had Tupac. You had Nas. You had all of these incredible artists. Now, remember, this was the representation of hip hop. This was what the Source Awards was. They got Biggie there. All of the hip hop stars, all of the who's who supported it. They came out and said, this is the representation of what hip hop is. We want to be there. This is the only place we can go kick our feet up and be celebrated. Today's hip hop artists are not celebrating, are not, going to these platforms. They say, no, I'm not going to do BET. I'm going to go sit down with Rolling Stone. No, I'm not going to do BET. I'm not going to do that little Negro show, BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm going to sit down with New York Times. Your favorite rapper is guilty of this. I don't care who it is, whether it's the Kendrick Lamars, whether it's the Drakes, whether it's the Playboy Cardis, whether it's the Travis Scotts. They are guilty of shunning the only award show that is supporting the art form. There's no more Source Awards. The Source Awards is no longer. There's no Double XL Awards. There's no more Justo Mixtape Awards. There's no more award shows like that is celebrating the excellency and the greatness of the hip-hop art form. This is the only place. And the hip-hop artists continue to besmirch it, to continue to look down upon it. And that is why it's no longer a success. So, people need to look at their favorite hip-hop artists. You need to be asking Kendrick Lamar, why is Kendrick Lamar? Kendrick Lamar was, I hate to kick in his back, but I have to. Let's put him on the screen. Let's put that brother on the Summer Jam screen. Kendrick Lamar. You beat Drake in the battle. Respectfully, you beat Drake in the battle. Right? You overcame. You won the battle. Unanimous victory. Unanimous. You talked about how you were going to watch the party die. People looked at you and said, you are hip-hop's last hope. Let's say that. You're hip-hop's last hope. You're getting us away from, as supposedly the commercialization of hip-hop and the Drake era. You are the savior. They looked at him like that, right? Hip-hop needs to be asking, why is hip-hop's biggest star not supporting the only award show? The only award show. Look at Kendrick Lamar. You show up for the Grammys. You got a fistful of Grammys. A handful of Grammys. You're holding them up. You show up for the Grammys. Mind you, an award show at one particular time would not even televise the rap category. Look into the history of the Grammys. There was a point where they would not even televise the hip-hop category. They said, no, we will not be televising Negroes that rap on a mic. They rejected and they repudiated that notion. We will not televise Negroes rapping on microphones. I reject and repudiate that. The Grammy said that. But Kendrick Lamar, you show up to get your awards. You got an arm full of Grammys on this arm, an arm full of Grammys on that arm. But you don't show up to the BET Hip Hop Awards? The only award show that is representing the excellency of hip hop, that is representing the greatness of hip hop, that is representing all that is well with hip hop. And let's be honest here, you know damn well they would have gave Kendrick Lamar every award on that show.
You don't find that suspicious?
They would have gave him they would have gave that nigga a Lifetime Achievement Award, best hip hop video, best male hip hop. They would have gave him best female hip hop if he showed up. But you Negroes, you show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards, you show up for the Grammys, but you don't show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards. You show up and get your white accommodation, you show up and get your white awards, you show up and get your white praise, you show up and get all of that, but you don't got time to get your BET Hip Hop Award. That's why nobody's watching. That's why nobody cares. That's why, because the prominent hip-hop artists of today don't support the art form. They don't support the excellency of the art form. And BET has had to deal with it. Just keeping it real. So, blame Fat Joe for being a terrible host and not holding any cultural currency to turn that award show around. Blame your favorite hip-hop artist, whether it be Kendrick, whether it be Drake, whether it be Travis Scott, whoever it may be. Blame them. They are the reason why BET Hip Hop Awards is dead, right? And when it comes to the Soul Train Awards, listen, it's sad to see the Soul Train Awards go away. Because the Soul Train Award is really an institution. The Soul Train Awards, it's sad to see it go. Hopefully they can bring it back. I just feel like that audience is getting older. A lot of these kids, they don't even remember a Soul Train. I'm old enough to remember when Soul Train was on TV, and you had people like Shamar Moore every Saturday on Soul Train, Don Cornelius and the Soul Train Awards and all of that. That's no longer happening. These kids don't know nothing about Soul Train Awards. They don't know nothing about a Soul Train show. They don't know the historicity. They don't know the history of Soul Train Award. They don't know about all of the great artists that came on that platform and was able to go on that show, Soul Train, and become stars and the new stars that were broken, whether it be the rappers, whether it be the singers, whether it be Jackson 5, Al Green, Curtis Mayfield, and then you go into the golden age of hip hop. You had Run DMC on there, you had Public Enemy on there, LL Cool J, and a list of iconic black artists. They've broken so many black artists, and it's really an institution in black American music. So it's sad to see it go. And I attribute it more to, like I said, the audience getting older and not being familiarized with the institution of Soul Train. I really blame Paramount. I blame Paramount, Viacom, for not, getting the right people to come in there, turn that award show around. They're guilty of both. When you have white people, respectfully, because BET and Soul Train, they're no longer owned by black people. They're no longer owned by people who know the platform, who understand the culture of the platforms. They're being run by people who don't know what's going on. They don't know their lips from their booty holes. And it's sad to see a lot of these institutions go away with. But hopefully they could turn this thing around. And I would love to see Soul Train come back in some way, fashion, or form. But yeah, guys, that's about